Center, home of their frenetic Friars of the Big East. Tonight, they take on Boomer Schooner, the Oklahoma Sooners, otherwise known as Billy's Bullies of the Big Eight, as the Big Eight meets the Big East on the road to Madison Square Garden. And there are the Sooners making their way out here at the Providence Civic Center with a cause and a mission. Billy Tubbs is very unhappy to be playing this game in this arena, going on the road less than 48 hours after going into overtime to beat Cincinnati. Hello, everyone. I am Tim Brando. And to the winner of tonight's game, Larry Connolly, the first entry into Madison Square Garden next Monday night. But Billy Tubbs has a case in point about having to go on the road so quickly after that win over Cincinnati.
Well, Tim, in his typical humorous way, he told us last night, well, they sent me to Fayetteville in November. They sent me to Providence in March. I guess my next trip is to Baghdad to play. Well, it's not going to be, and his club is back and healthy.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the road problems that this club has had, and you can understand why he would prefer playing this game in Norman. But Providence, you see, they're at the bottom 1-9 away, so it's definitely an advantage for Rick Barnes to be playing here.
I guess when you look at these two clubs, it really does point out how important the home court advantage really is. They circle the wagons better in Norman for Oklahoma than they do on the road. This is an Oklahoma team that plays much better and has been of late, particularly in the first two games of this NIT.
Now, the Oklahoma Sooners, as you mentioned, they have more in their arsenal offensively. We're going to show you the three guys that have come back into this lineup. And boy, don't you know, Billy would have loved to have had these guys at the 1st of February rather than midway through the month of March.
Well, it's really critical to their success because Holmes, Evans, and Mullins really represent some strong leadership to this club. You can see their winning and losing record and what they've been averaging in points when these guys are in the lineup. Holmes particularly, they really needed his play on the inside. And this is a group that was really depleted in guards at the beginning of the year.
And when you start talking about guards, you do not mention Providence Friar basketball without mentioning the man of steel, Eric Murdock. But he has been a question mark of late. No, he hasn't been injured and out of the lineup, but overworked, maybe.
Well, you can really begin to look at him and say maybe the man of steel is beginning to rust a little bit. And I think maybe he is being overworked, and I think the numbers would indicate that. Look at what he's done in his last 12 games compared to the rest of the season. You can see the drop-off in the field goal percentage, his point-per-game average, and even the minutes played have accelerated, but his numbers on the other end have not increased.
And we should mention that prior to tonight's game in the warm-up, he came out here, and it was obvious that his lower back was giving him some problems. He's also been favoring that right knee just a bit. He needs to play at his absolute best against this Sooner bunch.
Tim, they really do, and I'm going to be interested to see really how Providence handles this particular basketball game, because we're going to see two clubs that really love to go up and down the floor. I predict to you the over and under may be about 210 tonight.
All right. So, to the winner, a trip to the Garden. Will it be Billy Appeal or the Man of Steel? The starting lineups coming right up. The Providence Civic Center is home to the Friars, and the starting lineups are on the way. And with them now, public address announcer Ray Bagley.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Providence Civic Center quarterfinal game of the National Invitational Tournament. Tonight, the Friars play host to the Sooners of Oklahoma University from Norman, Oklahoma. Let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's game. For the Sooners, weighing it forward, a senior from Moji, Oklahoma, number 25, Kermit Holmes. At forward, a freshman from Midwest City, Oklahoma, number 32, Jeff Webster. At center, a sophomore from Port Arthur, Texas, number 40, Ryan Sallier. At guard, a junior from Enid, Oklahoma, number 20, Brent Price. At guard, a senior from Muskogee, Oklahoma, number 30, Mike Harris. The head coach of the Sooners, Billy Tubbs. Starting this evening for your Providence College Friars, playing their last game in the Civic Center this season. At forward, a junior from East Orange, New Jersey, number 24, Marquis Bragg. At forward, a junior from Salisbury, North Carolina, number 25, Fred Campbell. At center, a junior from Bridgeport, Connecticut, number 55, Marvin Sattler. At guard, a senior from Trumbull, Connecticut, number 33, Chris Swartz. At guard, a senior from Bridgewater, New Jersey, number 14, Eric Murdock. The head coach of the Friars, Rick Bond. For officials.
With that music, I thought for a moment we were at the Mirage in Las Vegas. This isn't the Razor or Tyson, but it should be good.
ESPN's presentation of the National Invitation Tournament is being brought to you by Subaru. We built our reputation by building a better car. And by Gillette and the revolutionary Gillette Sensor Shaving System. Gillette, the best a man can get.
The mascots are ready, and so are the players. The road to this third-round National Invitation Tournament game looked this way for Oklahoma. They knocked off Tulsa easily, but then stole one at home against Cincinnati, down 12 at one point in the second half, down 8 with just a few minutes to play to send it to overtime. Providence given some trouble by James Madison here a week ago, and then knocked off West Virginia in a marvelous performance by Marvin Sattler in that game. But Murdock, we should point out, was held to 13 points in that game against Gail Catlett's Mountaineers. The opening tip is one to Brent Price and the Sooners. He and Webster with a two-man game, and Oklahoma has the 2-0 lead.
And again, Tim, watch Oklahoma's press. They'll come out and play 94 feet. Providence, a club that likes to press too. You know the old adage about clubs that press don't like to be pressed? Forget it. These two are going to get after each other tonight.
Sallier with some ball denial. Murdock with a nice speed to Bragg. Marquis will follow.
Let's start for Providence, and they come right back with their press. A little more half-court pickup right here. Watts all over Price. Look at Price blow by him. Good kick out.
Holmes, Kermit Holmes, just inside the three-point arc. 4-2 Oklahoma.
This looks like the Sooner team of old. Up and down the floor, lots of scoring.
Murdock stops. Won't drop for him. Kept alive, though, by Sattler again. Finally recovered by Sallier. One pass and shoot. That's when Oklahoma's so dangerous, and Jeff Webster knocks it down to give them a 4-point lead.
This is a stunned crowd. They're looking up. They see 1 minute of play, and 3 for 3 from the field for Oklahoma.
Watts. Campbell follows on the offensive glass.
Tim, I thought if Oklahoma had one advantage in this game, it would be that they could do it on the inside. And right now, Providence kind of taking it to them on the offensive glass.
Sallier on the blocks.
Are you kidding me? We're 4 for 4 on Oklahoma's end. Nobody's going to slow down these two clubs tonight.
Sallier again got that arm in the way to obstruct the view of Marvin Sattler on that pass inside. Billy Tubbs, boy, you got to love him. You made an interesting analogy of him. In his 11th year now with Oklahoma. Of course, he made it to the final twosome back in Kansas City, losing to Kansas. You'll recall back in 1988. But you made a great analogy about him. You called him today the Al McGuire of the South.
He really is. I mean, he reminds me a lot of him. Very offbeat, but really has good control of his kids. I mean, in the practice session today, they ran their stuff.
March to the beat of your own drummer. That mentality, it's what Billy Tubbs is all about. Holmes on the offensive glass. Uses the window.
I'm not sure why Sattler went off and left Holmes open underneath. He just kind of abandoned that right side, and Holmes had no one around him for the stick back.
10-4 our score. Oklahoma leading by 6. 2.5 minutes gone from Providence's Civic Center. Sattler, that is the spot on the floor where he really warmed up against West Virginia the other night.
How about 9 out of 11 from the field? Pretty good night.
Kermit Holmes gets some help there from Price running it down.
This is what they do well, really getting the ball inside. Tim, I don't know that there's a club better in the country and a coach that does a better job of coaching getting the ball inside low on the post than Billy Tubbs does with his club. I mean, we talk about their run and gun offense, but I want to tell you, they get a lot of points down inside on the block. Sallier and Webster both really draw it in there. Present yourself, catch the ball, turn, look, and go up. Sattler with the push from the back.
Price, good dish again out to Webster. Don't drop. Oklahoma's missed a couple of shots. They're going cold, right? Murdock. Oh, yes, and a foul. Webster picks it up.
That's the typical burst of speed we have expected and want to see out of Eric Murdock. Watch him push it down the floor. Out ahead of the defense. There's Webster on the foul from the backside. Murdock with a good kiss off the glass. Now watch this. Webster right here. Hounding him on the right side. Catches him on the arm as he releases. Eric Murdock with a nice move. Oh, he did touch the ball. Oh, he did touch it.
Billy pleading his case. He may have a point here.
Tim, I think he may too. Let's go back and take a look at this ball. Now watch the follow-up. Murdock with a shot as the ball. Oh, yeah. It was touched.
No doubt about it.
Absolutely right.
Marquis Bragg got a hand on it in the cylinder. That's all Billy needed to get motivated about being on the road. Foul by Fred Campbell.
You know, Lenny Worth just made an excellent call. Standing on that sideline, it's very difficult to try to watch the guy coming up with the ball and also keep an eye on the defender. He saw that Price was out of bounds, but Campbell pushed him. Good call by Lenny Worth.
Veteran from ACC fame. He's worked his share of Final Fours, he along with Duke Edsel and Rusty Herring.
Good crew here tonight.
No question, among Freddie Barricat's best out of the ACC conference. Nice work inside by Sallier, fouled by Sattler in doing so.
Sallier, is he a happy guy? He's walking around with a smile on his face as wide as the city of Providence. Take a look inside. Sattler leaning on him. There's a couple of heavyweights going at it right here. Forget the fight Monday night. These two guys are banging each other pretty good. Sallier with a good move. Sattler with a foul from behind. Disagreeing with Duke. Watch this again. Now watch the pass on the outside. That's a good pass away from the defense and a good wheel down inside across the lane.
Sallier. San Jacinto prop. Boy, there's a turnover by Murdock. There was some incidental contact that helped force that, and Rick Barnes is getting his forces to rally around him just a bit. He's a little upset with that call.
Kind of nice to see these two guys on the floor already after the officials for 3 minutes of the game.
A little add to the intensity as Sallier connects. I think your observation that inside Oklahoma has an advantage has come to fruition. 14-9 our score.
There's a good kick inside. Bragg with a good move.
Partially deflected that time and ripped away by Price, only to have it stolen away by Watts. Eric Murdock time. Off the back iron, control to Watts. Watts was the three-point haymaker a week ago, you'll recall, from the James Madison game, and that is Brett Price's game.
Hey, baby, one pass, two passes, and it's going up. Boy, Oklahoma looks like the team that just ran through the Big 8 last year, which was such a great league. Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, all three so good.
Murdock 0 for 3 from three-point range. 17-9. Sooners by 8.
They bring it back out. Providence is a pretty good defensive club, but when they get in the half-court game, Oklahoma's not allowing them to do that.
Sallier lost it out of bounds. Defended nicely by Bragg. Little wolfing going on between those two. Oklahoma with the advantage early on the road. Billy's gang with the lead.
Hi, Chris Potter on our ESPN studios. At halftime, we'll take a look at the other NIT matchups, plus UNLV on the eve of their game with Utah. How good are they in an historical context? All that at halftime. Back now to Tim and Larry.
All right, Chris. You're alive and well. Good to see you again. 80% Oklahoma. Boy, are they coming out hot tonight in Providence. 4 for 13 for the Friars as well.
Excuse me, Timmy. I was going to tell you, this is a club that has been put back together. A club that was so fragmented, not only with physical problems, but academic problems, too, with some of their players. But they're back.
Nice cut by Murdock. Fouled by Webster.
How about that pass by Dickie Simpkins? Always nice when you make the backdoor cut that somebody can deliver the ball. Simpkins did. It was an excellent pass. One of the better freshmen, I think, in the Big East. Watch Dickie Simpkins right here. A 6'9" guy bouncing the ball to the guard. What is this? Centers now passing to guards underneath? What's this come to in basketball? Watch Simpkins underneath. Great dish. Good cut by Murdock.
That was a Rodney McCray type dish from the high post, wasn't it? From a 6'8", 6'9" type guy. You think about those Louisville teams, Scooter and Rodney are always capable of making that pass. And Rick Barnes is very high on Dickie Simpkins. Plays like that will always make a coach a happy fellow.
Here comes the pressure again by Providence. Oklahoma beat it.
17-12, a 5-point Oklahoma lead. Scorching the nets here at the outset.
Kind of keep an eye on Salye and Bragg. They've been going at it pretty good underneath.
Floyd really defending nicely against Price that time. He picks up a foul on the switch against Harris. Mike Harris, the senior from Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Tim, on that particular trip, I noticed the Rick Barnes club really came out with a lot more pressure on defense. They were really extended, not only on the trap on the press, but they also in their half-court defense got down in there and forced Oklahoma away. And it was really a bad shot by Harris, and he was lucky to get it off.
We talked about the injured Sooners. Well, Harris missed half of the year because he had some academic difficulty. He was forced to enter into the starting lineup because of the injuries to Terry Evans and to Terrence Mullins. It's been a puzzle that's been pieced together from month to month for Billy's team all year.
I think maybe now at the right time he's beginning to get it all together. The puzzle may be able to show a pretty picture at the end of March. Oklahoma man-to-man defense.
Cory Floyd rejected inside by Roland Ware. Number 42 for Oklahoma.
Whenever you're a guard and you go into tall timber, you got to remember some guy's going to give help if you beat your man, and Ware came across the lane that time to do it. Oklahoma well schooled on the defensive end.
Bragg, Salye, and Floyd going for it, ripped away by Ware.
Push it up the floor and look inside.
Bragg knocked it away, out of bounds to Oklahoma.
Tim, you always like to run your offense really in about 2 or 3 basic options. For Oklahoma, the first option is to break. If they don't have it, then they go inside. If they don't have it inside, ball back outside and go for the tray. Very simple offense, nothing complicated, but they do score a lot.
Harris forced it, picked up the foul from Murdock in doing so. In the game a week ago, Larry, 3 Providence Friars fouled out in that victory over James Madison. Then later in the NCAA tournament, although the Big East was very successful in the first and second rounds, foul difficulty was a problem, and they're having to make that adjustment to 5 fouls rather than 6 that they've been playing with all year. And you see Brent Forbes is coming to the game for Eric Murdock.
One of the things you and I talked about early today was the fact that a number of Big East games ran long this year because really the teams and the coaches were taking advantage of that 6-foul rule. And I think it really hurts you when you go into tournament play and you have to make that adjustment because maybe that 1 or 2 that you were just kind of throwing away, you can't do that anymore.
It appears that the Big East may opt to go back to 5 fouls next year. Some of the conversations that I've had with some people close to the Big East office. And with other conferences having experimented with it and then letting it go this past year, you can understand why they would rescind that rule that they have within the Big East. Forbes for 3. Roland Ware clears it. Boy, what an outlet to Harris. One pass and put it up.
I'll tell you what, how about a guy that missed half the season? He's played 16 games, and since he's come back, he's taken shots like that.
22-12, a double-digit lead for the Sooners.
Or Providence had any thoughts of trying to slow this game down, you can forget it now. They're going to go up and down.
Simpkins over Sallier.
Good offensive effort there. Two good young players. Sallier, just a sophomore. Here's the dish inside.
Holmes. Out there, Floyd, a fine rebounding guard, fouled on the way down by Roland Ware.
Here's the man from Norman. We had a lot of fun with him last night. He was enjoyable. You know, I've talked so many times about the great characters in college basketball that coach this game, and he's truly one of my favorites. I like the guys that are out there, have a little fun with the game, and he does.
Believe me, as unhappy as he may be about coming here, 80% of the quotes that you read about Billy Tubbs relative to the NCAA or even the NIT selection committee are used to fire a team up. And it's obviously worked. The first 6.5 minutes of the first half is any indication.
Well, Providence got back on defense very quickly that time. They had a good outlet pass, Oklahoma did. Barnes' club beginning to show a little bit more defensive effort now. There's a foul by Forbes on a push.
It's apparent that Rick Barnes has made certain that all of the guards that he can bring in to defend Brent Price will defend him strongly in that man-to-man that he employs.
You know, Tim, look at the statistics on Oklahoma as we look at Rick Barnes right there. Brent Price's figures really went down dramatically once he got into Big 8 play. You know, he only shot 35% in Big 8 play. That happens within the family. When the family gets to know you, you know, you find out what the weaknesses are in your clubs you play against a lot. Know what you can and can't do. We'll look inside again.
Holmes, one pass too many to Sallier, taken out of there by Marquis Bragg.
Good pass by Campbell.
Over to Watts.
Yeah, nice work. Found the opening. Little secondary break. Always look for those floaters coming down after that initial break.
That's the first three-pointer for the Friars. 22-17. Oklahoma by 5. Sallier,
Push off.
that's a push. Lenny Wirtz right there to make the call. Oklahoma got out of the gates quickly, but Rick's frenetic Friars are only down by 5. The winner of tonight's game will advance to the Garden in New York for the NIT semifinals on Monday night, 7 and 9 p.m. Eastern time. Larry and I will be there for it. And then on Wednesday, it's the championship game at 9 p.m. And the Phantom Friar hopes to get there.
Is that a Darth Vader Friar? Boy, do you know how hard that is to say?
22-17, a 5-point cushion. You see Oklahoma warming up tonight by comparison to their season totals.
Providence staying close, gotten back in the game. Good double down.
Almost a tie ball. Bragg rejected.
Where? Got it. We got a bunch of surging Bubkas out here without poles. I mean, these guys can get up.
Terry Evans has come into the game, number 14 at the point. One of the walking wounded for Billy's club. He hit some critical threes. In fact, one to draw the Sooners to within 4 late in the game to send Cincinnati into overtime. You see a turnover by the Sooners, and Providence gets it back.
Oklahoma right now using a man-to-man press. They'll try to force the ball to the sideline if they can. Price right on top of Watts.
Murdock from the wing. Sallier clears for Oklahoma.
Tim, he continues to shoot very poorly in the last couple of weeks.
Price fouled from the backside by Watts.
I think that's going to be the 7th team foul. That's going to put Oklahoma in the bonus, and we've got 10:49 left to play in the first half. Take a look now the way Oklahoma runs the break up the floor. Now, see Providence getting back on defense. Now, they're in good position right here. It's a good move right there by Price to get inside. Look at the great dish, but the foul came from the backside on Watts. Price ever vigilant, head up, looking for friends on the break.
A rare miss at the line.
This really is a good shooting team, Oklahoma from the line, 72%.
Simpkins pops out high. Boy, nice work. Tie ball by Salyer.
Clearly dominant in the middle, the Sooners early on in this game, Larry.
I think maybe Simpkins, the freshman, a little great expectancy to go up here, and he forgot he had a good man who could block shots. Salyer can do that, as can Webster.
Watts will trigger it in for Providence. Oh, there's Murdock. Well, you got to know that in the scouting report. They got away with one because Eric missed it.
Look at Price push. That constant pressure.
Evans. Murdock clears.
Coming into this game, Evans has attempted 183 point shots.
Lost in all of those steals and points for Eric Murdock is his rebounding ability. Averaging 5 per game. He picks up the offensive foul this time.
That's another one of the reasons that most believe he will be a fine guard at the next level. I mean, his ability to get the garbage rebound. You saw it on the defensive end and then on the offensive end prior to the foul.
Usual for a guard in college who's averaging almost 26 points a game, who also averages 5 rebounds a game. Let's look at the corner right now and see if you can pick up how Oklahoma runs their offense. Now watch Price break out, look to the inside, watch the screen down inside. They look, nothing there. Ball reversal. Now they'll go to the other side. Now watch Price break across the lane. Down inside, nothing there. Now they'll look inside. Got a hold or an offensive foul. 3-second call.
Well, you don't see that too often. Salyer picks it up.
You know what? I think they ought to call it more often. I think some of those guys really pitch tents in there.
Well, the coaches certainly want it. You can hear them talking about it game in and game out when whooping with officials.
Maybe that was Oklahoma's delay game. They were past 12 seconds before they got a shot off.
Oklahoma 7 turnovers, but they have 5 blocked shots, which we showed you earlier, to negate that turnover problem.
Oh, good pass by Watts.
Murdock was just not falling for EMT tonight.
Price with a 3-on-2. An air ball. Well, you'll hear about that one from the fans.
That was not a good decision by Price. Should have given it up. Watts from the outside.
Murdock again. That's why he's a great player. If the shot's not falling, he'll beat you some other way.
Timmy, that's the sign of a great player. Reach down in your book. Find out what else you can do. Murdock can rebound. Good pass by Ware.
Salyer. That's a charge. That's 2 on Brian Salyer.
I'll tell you what, Oklahoma's been stuck on 22 for about 3 or 4 minutes now. Providence doing a good job on the defensive end. Back on the break, not allowing the easy shots. Give the Friars some credit. Rick Barnes made some adjustments in a couple of those commercial timeouts, and he's been able to shut down Oklahoma's offense.
It was 22-12 moments ago. It's a 7-point run for the Friars.
Webster wants to post up inside. He's calling for the ball. He wants it.
Holmes.
Good stick.
Kermit Holmes, the senior. They lost him at midseason with that sprained knee. That injury probably cost them more than any of the injuries that they had during the course of the year.
Well, they were a little slim inside. I mean, without Jackie Jones coming back, they really were weak on the scoring on the inside, the interior portion of their game. They got it back when he came back.
Watts for 3. Chris Watts. He has 6 in the game. Both of them from 3-point range.
He doesn't make 2s. He only shoots 3s.
Not one 2-pointer. We pointed that out to you last week in the James Madison game. During Big East play, not one 2-point field goal for Watts.
Pull it up. Yeah.
Nice work inside to Troy Brown.
Good pass that time by Turner.
Tony Turner and Troy Brown have come into the game to aid and abet the Friars. We're tied at 24.
Well, this has been a good run by Providence. Oklahoma out of the gate, as you said, Tim, so quickly. Providence never gave up. They kept coming back. There's that freshman, Webster.
Jeff Webster.
Midwest City, Oklahoma, and Carl Albert High School.
Tim, I really truly think Webster is one of the 5 best freshmen in the country. He is a great player.
Murdock forces it. Brown loses it. Harris waits for help from Evans.
Oh, what a fake by Evans, and he missed the shot.
26-24, Oklahoma. Bragg is fouled. Roland Ware picks it up. The alley-oop was on the way.
You know, we talk about fast break clubs and getting down the floor quickly. I don't think these guys can take a back seat to anybody. The Friars can get down the floor and push it pretty well, too. There's Bragg looking over Ware's shoulder saying, hey, don't push me out of bounds.
I think your comment about 210 as the over-under was pretty accurate. 6:33 remaining opening half, a 2-point lead for Oklahoma.
Tim Brando, let me give you a little coaching session right here, a little scouting, right? Here's the way you run the break. Now watch the miss by Webster. Notice something. Look at the 3 red jerseys, all Oklahoma players in the paint. Nobody back. What happens? Providence breaks out. They've got 4-on-1. That's why the break works. Turner throws it up, and he throws it down. Brown, good catch, good break. That's the way you run it.
Rick Barnes loves it that way. The fast break points beginning to even out for the Friars after trailing early on in the game. Friars have outscored OU 12-4 in the last 7.5 minutes.
There's a push down inside.
Turner picks it up. Tony Turner, just a sophomore.
I'll promise you one thing. If the ball goes to Webster down on the block, it will not come out of there. It's like throwing it into a black hole. He's had 7 assists all year long, so don't ever think the ball's going to come back out. Take a look again. Now, here's Harris with the ball. Little jump stop. Looks in there, nothing. Where's Webster? Where is he? Now he's in position. Now get the ball. See, what you do in that position is really present yourself well. Open your body up and call for it. Webster does that and does it well.
Misses at the line again. So he's an 80% free throw shooter also. So Sooners are struggling at the line suddenly. Sattler. Murdock again, his 3rd offensive rebound. That one was pinned up against the window, and a foul, the end result.
He went flying out of bounds as Cory Floyd. He almost ran into the Blues Brothers over there. He's going to join him and be the 3rd Blues man. Ware with the push.
Providence not converting really all of the opportunities off the offensive glass, but Murdock is responsible for half of those 9.
See, that's one of those things that numbers are very deceiving. You know, you can get a lot of offensive rebounds, but if you're not sticking them back in the basket, they don't do you any good. Right now, Providence, a club that's down by 2, could have been ahead if they could have converted those offensive rebounds.
See the numbers on Floyd. He's really helped this team during the NIT. In fact, Billy Tubbs, after viewing some tape, outside of Murdock, which is the obvious statement, this was the guard that most impressed Billy Tubbs, both offensively and defensively, Cory Floyd. 26-26, just under 6 minutes remaining until halftime. Webster again.
Well, that was a great move by Webster, but I'm going to tell you what, Harris got the ball in the position he wanted to get it, and it really opened up that baseline for Webster.
Jeff has 8. Floyd. Controlled by Holmes. Nice work in the open court by Price. Webster again. Floyd got a hand on it. Price comes up with it and knocks it down.
Not sure what Floyd was trying to do. It was like he was trying to swat the ball out instead of just grabbing it and pulling it down.
Brent Price has 5. 30-26, Oklahoma.
Pretty good defensive pressure now by Oklahoma. They're really shutting it down inside.
Murdock with the isolation. Draws the foul.
Harris has the assignment of keeping up with Murdock. You know, it's kind of interesting from a size standpoint. They're both about 6'2", but Harris weighs about 190. Murdock's about 15 pounds lighter. But watch Harris. Good foot movement right there, but he made the mistake of reaching out with the arm and getting Murdock across the arm. Now watch the footwork right here. Watch Harris. See him laterally moving. Murdock with a good little push-off right there. You can do that. That's where he made the mistake. Don't reach in and commit the foul. Boy, it's such a tendency to want to reach in there on defense to grab the guy when he gets ready to go up.
Murdock with 8 points in the game, but more importantly, 5 rebounds. He's already on his average. Struggling at the stripe. Campbell's follow.
Look at Campbell again. Price got him. He's had 11 offensive rebounds.
And Billy was really upset there with his team. Wants them to block out and handle the fundamentals of the game.
Watch Campbell. This is off the missed free throw. He goes right back and gets it again, takes it right away from Holmes, and then Price had to reach in and foul him.
When you've got as many athletic players, and I mean when I say that, obviously the guys that can jump to the ball well, it's very difficult to get them to box out.
It is. And, you know, it's one of the most fundamental things in basketball to do. But guys who are great athletes and who are leapers just don't want to do it. They just want to go get the ball, and oftentimes it hurts them.
Both teams struggling at the line. Murdock again with the quick hand. It may not be a box score delight for Eric, but he will always give you his utmost on both ends of the floor.
All right, take a look at the Friars' pressure right now. They're kind of matching up, trying to find out where they can trap. Like that spider to the fly, come into my web. They just try to draw you and find out where they can trap you.
Price for 3. Well, that is reminiscent of his older brother with the Cavaliers. Mark Price, who had a great career at Georgia Tech for Bobby Crimmins. That 85 team, one of Bobby's best at Georgia Tech.
So we're going to take a look at the defense right now of Oklahoma. There's a bad shot. Another offensive rebound for Providence and a stick back. Well, Providence doing a great job on the offensive end. Tubbs is really upset with his Sooners right now. They just are not going to the defensive glass at all.
33-29. They still have a 4-point lead, and Bragg knocked it away. Control to Oklahoma.
One of the reasons that Providence has been able to narrow this gap is the fact that Providence's defense has been improved.
Sallier missed a chippy. Murdock with the numbers. To Watts for 3. Simpkins on the glass. Simpkins again.
2 more offensive rebounds for Providence.
He has 4. The lead is 2 for OU.
Oh, what a great pass. Price, and he missed it inside. Harris did.
Simpkins on the baseline. Oklahoma will have it. Tubbs is looking up at the score. He's looking up for more rebounds on the defensive end. That's the reason Providence has clawed to within 2. As Monica Seles was a winner.
Let's go back to Coach Tim Brando's observance here earlier. Watch the miss on the inside. Now, only one guy trying to block out. Price underneath. But the problem is he's too far underneath to block out. If you're going to screen guys away from the glass, you've got to do it out on the floor, not underneath. And there's the result of Providence basket.
Billy does not want to see more of that. 33-31. Look at the numbers. Providence, 28 on the glass.
16 offensive.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Webster wants it. He's calling for it. See how far they're dropping back in when Webster's in there? And the foul.
Yeah. And a hoop.
Tim, the one thing Providence does, and I know Rick Barnes has worked on this in his scouting report, he says we have to be very aware of the ball going inside. Now watch Campbell. He wants to get back in the lap right there. See, he's a little late getting back. Webster catches it, and a little push-off, I might add, with the left hand as he grabs it, throws it through, and draws the foul from Simpkins.
That's the first on Simpkins.
You really got to drop down and try to help defensively inside. But it's really tough when you got good shooters who can bury it from the outside. Price is one of those. Harris could shoot it from outside.
The Big 8 newcomer of the year, Jeff Webster, has 11 in the game. 36-31. The Sooner lead pushed back out to 5.
Bragg calling for it inside. Price left his man, Simpkins. He's got Watts outside now. We're doing a little bit of a matchup zone here. We've got Harris. They get a little bit of a different defense. I think Billy's changed. He's got Harris now chasing Murdock. The other 4 guys are playing zone. Looks like a 1-3 with Harris chasing Murdock.
Watts' shot won't fall. Braggs again. Marquis all over the glass. Finally, Kermit Holmes takes it away for Oklahoma.
Chalked down 2 more offensive rebounds, and they didn't finish it.
Webster pushed a bit too far out. Simpkins collects the foul. It's one of those errors that you hate to see because the young man did his job pushing Webster further away from the hoop. The foul really needless.
Tim, oftentimes when you got a shooter like Webster who likes the 10-foot shot, if you can just push him 2 more steps, 12, 13 feet on that baseline, it makes it a lot more difficult for him to get that shot off, and that's exactly what he did. And you're right, too bad he fouled.
Dickey will learn in due time. He's just a freshman from Fort Washington, Maryland.
I love his high school.
Friendly high school.
Friendly high school.
Like to meet Miss Congeniality at Friendly High. Troy Brown coming back into the game. Dickey Simpkins checks out. 2:40 remaining. Chris Fowler coming up at halftime. He'll look ahead to the NCAA field. How good is UNLV? And some college hoop news, and he'll also take you around the National Invitation Tournament. Tonight's winner will be the first entry into the Garden in New York for next Monday night semifinal round. This is a 12-5 run for Oklahoma since that 26-all tie we had a few moments ago.
Now, Oklahoma's right now in a 1-3 zone, and they've got Harris chasing Murdock right at the free throw line right now.
Bragg penetrates. Picks up the foul inside.
You know, Tim, oftentimes when you get a different look on defense and they give you kind of a mixed look, you got to slow your offense down and take a look and see what's available to you. Probe it, investigate it, see what they offer to you. And that's what Providence has done the last couple of trips because Murdock's not been able to get away from Harris.
Roland Ware will come in. Sallier picking up his 3rd foul, Larry.
You can see Murdock right there, right out the free throw line. See Harris shadowing him. The other guys are playing a 1-3. Brent Price right there is the point on it. The other 3 guys inside are playing somewhat of a triangle or even a straight line across the lane.
Brian Sallier, who has been prone to foul difficulty, gets a 3rd with 2:05 remaining, so he'll sit the rest of the way. And believe me, he presents matchup problems for Rick Barnes. In talking with him prior to the game, the player inside he most feared was Brian Sallier.
Marquis Bragg at the line right now just threw up a whole load of bricks. Not one, but a bunch of them. Only shoots 46%. Missed it again, and again an offensive rebound for Providence.
Fred Campbell gets this one. All of the garbage belonging to the Friars.
Good ball by Providence.
Watts off balance that time. Bragg trying to run it down. Kept alive. Last touch by Marquis. Control to Oklahoma. They are just going for the ball so much more quickly than Oklahoma in those loose ball opportunities.
Yeah, but Tim, that time they made the effort to try to block out. That's the first time tonight in the first half that I've seen them really make the effort to try to check the Providence club away from the basket. You got to put your backside into that guy's knees or his hips. All right, let's take a look now at the Oklahoma offense. Now watch the look inside. The pop out again. Watch Webster. He wants it down in there. They go on the other side to Holmes.
Bragg in position, right past Webster to pick up that rebound. Floyd. Well, Providence could shoot. They would have 50 right now. They have 19 offensive rebounds, but as you mentioned, they're just like turnovers if you can't finish. 38-31, the Oklahoma lead is 7.
Well, you present opportunities, and that's what Providence has given themselves, a lot of opportunities, but they just haven't been able to cash it in.
Foul off the ball. Picked up by Webster. That's 3 on Jeff Webster. So both he and Sallier will see some pine time, not only here in the lighter going of the first half, but also in the second half, you'd think. Tommy French, number 34, will come into the game for Webster. The game got out to a very quick start, and now it appears that it's settling down into at least a bit more of what Rick Barnes would like.
Tim, I would expect Billy Tubbs on offense this particular time, if they can get this rebound, to go down the floor and really be very patient with it with 2 of their inside players, their key inside players out. They need to have the ball really taken care of. They don't want to push anything right now.
Well, you see it. Chris Fowler coming up at halftime with the aforementioned stories.
They almost lost it again. Brown almost got it.
Oklahoma is just over 50% at the stripe. Providence right now under 50%, 5 of 11 here in the first half. They struggled, you'll recall, until the final moments of that James Madison game at the free throw line.
Oklahoma's going to run over the stall game now. They don't want to push it in too soon. They got about a 10-second differential.
That's the game clock you're seeing. The shot clock is down to 16.
Go. We got 4 seconds.
Where? Not there. French keeping it alive. Where again? So Oklahoma turns it back the other way on the offensive glass to lead by 9. You got to call it. That's better than the 8 ball in the corner pocket.
Oh, yeah. A lot better. Look at the clock. Now watch the shot. It's going to come up right where you want it. Trent Forbes right there. Lets it go. Off the glass. Thank you. Again, Trent Forbes just over the half-court line. I'll tell you what. You know what? He released it pretty good. He didn't throw it. He shot it.
That's a legitimate shot. But believe me, he's thankful that the bank is open late in Providence. Had to say it. 40-34, Oklahoma at the intermission.
We welcome you back to the Providence Civic Center, where the Friars trail Oklahoma by a score of 40-34 here in the NIT third round. Tim Brando along with Larry Connolly. Frenetic first half, really, when you consider how quickly out of the gates Oklahoma came. 8 out of 10 at one point. But then the Friars got back into it by virtue of their offensive rebounding.
It was one of the strangest first halves I've seen all year. A club that shoots 55%, only up what they are at halftime. I'm talking about Oklahoma. And really, Providence's aggressiveness on the board was what carried them.
Statistically, you'll see that Oklahoma was shooting well early on in this game, cooled a bit late. But the field goal shooting percentage for Providence way down, only 29%. Those second chance points have kept them in this game. And you see, they have loaded up 14 times from three-point range, but they've only connected on 3 of them. But the second chance points and the fast break points right now are even, but the second chance points have really kept them in this thing.
Well, Tim, you know, I think from an efficiency standpoint, they really haven't done a very good job of converting those stickbacks. So you get 19 offensive rebounds and you only get 11 points out of it, you're not doing a very good job. You need to get more than that.
But it has been an entertaining first half. We expect an entertaining second half. And with shots like this that we had to close out half number 1, there should be more on the way. Conventional and unconventional. 40-34 our score. Tim Brando along with Larry Connolly. Happy to have you with us for the NIT third round. Providence at Oklahoma. The leading scorers, Webster with 13. But remember, both he and Sallier have 3 fouls. That could be a factor late in this game. Providence has 8 from Eric Murdock. And again, those numbers are pretty good. But again, not Eric Murdock type numbers.
Are we looking at an Elvis impersonator here? We couldn't be, could we? Huh? Or Tim Brando, maybe? No, he's next to me. But Tim, I swear, the guy could be a twin.
Just Brent Price, by the way, does a better Elvis than yours truly.
Well, I've heard that. I have heard that.
He really does. 40-34 our score.
Hard to believe, but I hear that.
I'm all shook up.
Man-to-man defense by Providence. Good kick around the corner, and Holmes is open.
Backs it down. That's inside the three-point arc. 42-34. Oklahoma out to an 8-point lead as we open the second half.
Man-to-man for Oklahoma. Sooners really trying to extend their defense a little bit more than they did in the first half. Harrison got the job on Murdock. Didn't do it that time.
Well, we mentioned he's their leading scorer, but he did not have a vintage first half at all.
Oklahoma uses the sideline for their break. Sallier wide open underneath. Good help that time down inside by Bragg.
Brett Campbell cleared it. Murdock finds Sattler.
Shows you a little bit of what Providence can do on that break. Down the floor, Oklahoma a little bit of sleep at the switch. Beat them down there and got an easy one.
4 unanswered for the Friars. 42-38. Webster
Sallier, and Webster is fouled. Murdock gets it. It may have been Marquis Bragg. It was. Marquis, number 24, picks it up his second.
I just find it astounding that you can get 19 offensive rebounds. If you're out rebounding the club 32 to 21 at half, you got to go and come out and say, boy, I'm a happy guy. But when you shoot 28%, that's why the number is down for Providence.
That was Bragg's third foul. And he's a player that they can ill afford to lose down along the blocks. But rather than two, he has three, as does Webster for Oklahoma and Sallier.
All right, Oklahoma's press now. Providence, it's a man-to-man press by Oklahoma. Let the big guys bring it up. It's man-to-man. Sattler handles it pretty well against Sallier.
Murdock with the penetration. Never got that one on the glass.
Rick Barnes wanted a foul. Look at Harris. Good move to the baseline.
Oh, what an explosion that was. Sattler picks up the foul. It was last year prior to the Seton Hall game, Larry, and early in the season. Let's take a look at this.
Well, watch the break. Now, Price pushes it up the floor. Now, watch him kick it to the right corner. That's a good pass. Get the ball to the man when he's open. Don't wait till he gets covered. Harris with a good explosion to the basket and a foul.
Last year, you'll recall, it was Billy Tubbs that said that the Big East was for insomniacs. It was boring basketball, and he quickly got some attention before he took his team to Seton Hall. Now, of course, coming into this game, he was upset about going on the road again, having to come to the Big East offices in Providence, Rhode Island, where Mike Tranghese and company do an outstanding job. He loves poking fun at the opposition to help gear his team up and have them mentally prepared.
You know, I think an interesting thing at home, when he has scored 100 points or more, he is 102-2, and those two losses came this year.
45-38. 7-point lead for Oklahoma. Murdock for three.
He cannot find the basket tonight.
Webster clears for OU.
He and Bragg have really struggled.
Price running the show for the Sooners.
Thomas doing the man-to-man. Oklahoma tries to push it inside. Webster again.
Boy, Webster loves to go over to that wing. Put the ball on the floor to find his spot. Here comes the OU presser. The lead is back to 9.
You know, oftentimes, Tim, when you throw a press out there, there's so many different ways to press. Oklahoma likes to go out and deny that first pass. If you get that first pass in from out of bounds, they'll usually back off and let it come in. Although they will change it on occasion.
Bragg. Well, he gave as many head fakes as he could. Finally, Holmes, he knew wouldn't buy it, so he took the two.
It's like one of those little animals in the back of a car whose head just keeps bobbing and bobbing.
Sallier.
He lost it.
Yep. Nice work defensively by Simpkins. Here's Murdock.
Good kick by Watts to Simpkins. Oh, he missed it badly. He didn't even get the iron. It couldn't even be unkind to him. See if the glass is cracked.
Sallier. Well, Brian Sallier and Webster are playing with 3 fouls, Larry. If either of these two men leave the floor, it will drastically change the complexion of the game for Oklahoma.
Oh, there's no question about that. But, you know, Providence uses so many different players. Rick Barnes just runs them in and out of there. It's like a shuttle service at the scorer's table.
Dickie Simpkins is coming out. He has a 3rd foul now. So both he and Marquis Bragg are playing with 3. So that sort of evens out the baseline foul difficulty for both clubs. The difference in this game, though, would be that Webster has 17 in the game, and Brian Sallier has 7. They're responsible for almost half of Oklahoma's point production.
Sallier's got such a nice release on his shot. I mean, for a guy that is 6'8" and 252. Hey, and they tell me Switzer recruited him for football before Tubbs.
As a tight end.
How can you miss that target? 6'8", 252? Of course, down there, they're not going to throw it anyway, so it doesn't make any difference.
That's right. Sattler. Sallier clears it. 49-40. Price. Boy, Billy Tubbs wanted a foul on Sattler, but he didn't get it. He is working over Duke Edsel right now, giving him a lot of lip.
You know what? And Price will never complain. He just gets up and he plays. Look at Floyd. Floyd.
No one defended him.
Price tried. He couldn't keep up. Trent Floyd. Hit that big shot at the half. Right back with a nice layup down the lane. Look how strong inside he is. You talk about a body. I mean, we're talking about bull elephant in there.
Nice pass. Sattler to Bragg.
Bragg with a good turn. The good look by Sattler. That's the way you do it. Look up. You may see somebody cutting for the basket and be open.
51-44. Oklahoma 4 minutes deep into the second half from Providence.
Pace is about like we had in the first half, the first 6 minutes of the first half. Getting a little shake and bake there. A bowl full of jelly.
A lot of action between Sallier and Sattler off the ball. That one's knocked away. They may have had a foul prior.
I think Sattler
the ball going out of bounds. Sattler did get the foul. As I mentioned, both he and Sallier, a lot of body and a lot of arm off the ball that time. 15:42 remaining. Quick Rick's club is down by 7 at home.
Sooners up by 7 in the second half. We'll show you some of the play right now. Oklahoma. Brent Price with the basketball out top. Watch Sallier get the good position inside. Call for the ball. Here's where he gets it. Right there. Watch this turn. Backs right in. Just simply shoots over Sattler. I want to show you a great offensive play on Sattler's part. Look at him out on the floor. Almost lost the ball. Came up with it. Saved it. Looked inside. Ooh, a friend. There it is. Underneath. Pretty pass.
Marcus Bragg here in the Big East, the home city of this conference, and Billy Tubbs.
Looks like he's in Big East country.
Yeah, you bet. Couldn't have picked a better spot if you don't like the Big East, right? Come right into their home office to play.
Providence doing a good job on the defense now. I got a defense. Campbell with just that's just not the type of foul you want to make out on the floor like that. Price was standing 35 feet from the basket, and he just pushed it.
You see the foul difficulty. Sattler picked up his 4th off the ball as we went to break. Simpkins also with 3. Sallier and Webster, though, mean so much offensively to Oklahoma. A 4th would really damage their offense anytime here in this second half.
Look at the flash. Look inside. Price does, and there's Sallier in that familiar spot.
All night long. Brian Sallier, the sophomore from Port Arthur, has a dozen in the game.
It's a comfort zone. He loves it on the block. Providence trying to push the ball to the inside, too. A couple players in there that can do the job. Bragg's pretty strong in there. Now he pops out. Half-court offense for Providence. They don't respect Brown's outside shooting.
Troy Brown, number 34 in white, in the game because of Sattler's 4th foul, and there's a steal by Sallier. A solo, too strong, and there's Brent Price. Right there to follow. He picks up the foul.
You know, I really question the decision by Sallier that time to take the ball down the sideline. At 6'8" and 252, when you've got a guard on your right side, give the ball up to the guard. Let him handle it. See, he's going to take it all the way. He misses the shot. If he'd given it to Price, Price probably would have gotten it back to him. Now they got to go to the line and shoot, too, because Price is fairly automatic from there, too.
Not only that, he may have been fouled by Marquis Bragg trying to defend him on that break, because he was right there with him. What a problem. Continue with the line for these teams.
I'll tell you what, though. Now you look up and you see Oklahoma's going to lose a point on this.
Well, that's one of my pet peeves about college basketball. Only in this sport would players congratulate a guy after he throws up a brick. I mean, they come up and they give him a little high five. Nice going. You threw up a bad shot.
Hey. What they ought to do is walk to the line and turn their back on you and walk back to the line.
The old days of the NIT, New York City College, and those teams, I mean, they didn't talk to you in those days if you missed a free throw.
Oh, nice move by Brown. Again, an offensive rebound by Bragg. Good steal by Price.
Webster fouled by Bragg, and that's big. Right in front of Rick Barnes. Marquis Bragg.
You know what? I think Rick Barnes' complaint is probably somewhat legitimate. He's going to see as you see this right here, watch him grab the ball. No box out. Now watch him come up. Bragg right there. Price slapped it away. Now Webster's got it. Now Bragg comes back. I think maybe he had the ball, then had his arm.
Yeah. Team fouls really growing for Rick Barnes. Sattler is already on the bench, and you see 17 team fouls. It's 1-1 the rest of the way for Oklahoma, but then again, the problems they've had at the stripe, uncharacteristically really, could be a good defense for Providence. Murdock, a leaner. Run down by Bragg.
Good effort by Brown that time. Murdock lost it. Price got it.
3-on-1 for Brent Price.
Good break.
56-44. The lead is 12. Timeout, Providence. Billy's got it going his way with 13:40 to play. This is the road to the Garden tonight. The winner will go to the semifinal round. We begin at 7 p.m. and then at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Both Larry and I will be there next Monday on ESPN.
Big Apple time, huh?
You bet.
Let's go back and take a look now at this. Watch this strange occurrence of events. Again, Providence with another offensive rebound. They get it. What happens? They're not able to convert it. They throw the ball away. Loses his concentration. This is the way Oklahoma runs their break. Put it in Price's hands. If the defense doesn't come to you, you take the shot. Nice play by Price. That's the way you handle the break.
Larry, we pointed out at the top of the telecast that Eric Murdock had been guilty perhaps of being overworked at times. And I think we've seen a couple of lapses in concentration, uncharacteristic Murdock mistakes.
Good pass. Sallier
Fouled by Troy Brown.
Sallier giving it to the crowd a little bit now. Look at Price. Look up the floor. Well, this is a good guard. That's a heady play right there, and a good catch by Sallier over his shoulder. There's the foul from the backside. Good call. You know, for a big guy, Sallier really runs the floor well. He gets up and down there, motors up and down about as well as anybody who weighs about 250. Especially once there's easy ones, too. Get down the floor and give me the ball, Brent. Guy had a great game against Cincinnati the other night. Really, they were very fortunate to get away from that game. Cincinnati's Bearcats played very well down in Norman.
58-44, the lead is 14, and the stats are really becoming a factor, particularly when you consider Oklahoma 6 offensive rebounds, but 55%. Providence really struggling from the floor.
A little mock applause right now by the crowd. That was the first foul called on Oklahoma in the second half. Maybe the first time referees ever got a standing ovation. There's a great young coach right there, Rick Barnes. I think maybe one of the best young coaches in the country.
I talked to him at length about Murdock prior to the game and the fact that his stats had slipped and maybe he'd been overworked. And he said, you know, Tim, we have a big night for our seniors, as most colleges do, that last game. And then when we had to come back here and play in the NIT, it was almost anticlimactic in a sense for Eric. And now tonight he was hoping that because this was the last possible game he could play here, that he'd be motivated and perhaps play his best game. But to this point, we haven't seen it. You see yet another foul picked up.
Well, it's difficult. I mean, when the guy had the year that he had, I mean, to be the Big Eight, the Big East leading scorer, and not come into the NIT prepared to play, it makes it difficult on your club. And this is a guy that averaged 26 points a game during the year.
Cory Floyd picked up that foul.
Oklahoma missed it again.
We may have had a lane violation. I think we did. Against Oklahoma, so it wouldn't have mattered. Providence gets it back.
Jim, I think more importantly, that was the 19th foul against Providence. So from now on, Oklahoma's going to be shooting 2 shots every time they go to the line.
But if there's been one problem with them offensively, it's been at the free throw line. There's Bragg on the offensive board.
All right, that time they finished it. They got an offensive rebound, and they put it back in the basket.
58-48.
This game's over with. If the Sooners happen to win this game, Billy Tubbs will be on his inside guys. They've done a very poor job on that defensive glass.
Sallier rejected by Bragg.
Providence beginning to feel a little bit of a run here. Maybe.
Salyer got a hand on that one. Last touch by Webster. Are you surprised at all that they haven't gone inside with Webster and Salyer saddled with 3 at the intermission? I mean, they really haven't been challenged on the defensive end by the Providence front line.
No, well, yes, I am surprised that they haven't gone to the inside, but I think they've had difficulty getting in there. There's Murdock. Maybe he's on track now. This will get him going.
58-50. He has 12 in the game.
Providence has extended their defense now. They've really pushed it out on the floor. Harris with a great pass
to Webster, who follows. Salyer!
Oh, what an effort by the Sooners. 3 offensive rebounds. Salyer and Webster doing their work. I think Rick Barnes wanted an over-the-back foul.
Murdock, boy, in traffic. Nowhere to go. That is the type of play that we're speaking of, Larry. They've been leaning on him so much offensively. He forced it that time, and he turned it over.
That's a walk. So you did a little bit of a hop right there. Didn't establish that pivot foot when he was cutting. You know, once you get the position here, now watch the cut across the lane. Simpkins on his backside. He feels him. See the right hand? Feels him. He's got him sealed, and he gets it. Little hop right. You see the hop right there? A little bit of two-step hop, and then he works right on top of it. So many guys over the years at Oklahoma have had such great success down in there, starting with Wayman Tisdale. Tisdale was one of the first guys that really learned that post-up position down in there, and he was a strong, strong player down inside.
Turner for 3. Tony Turner. And a blocking maneuver, but a charge call.
Floyd with a good defensive position. He caught Price napping that time. I think Price started up the floor, didn't even realize Floyd was there.
He had no idea. You're right.
Take a look again. The basket, the tray. Now look at Price. He looks up, nothing there. All right, I've got the ball. Now I'm going to go. Oh, that was great defensive work right there. Good play.
Those feet were set. Sattler, baseline. Bragg!
Converting.
Yeah, I think your sensing a run was accurate. Price turns it over again. This is an 11-2 run for the Friars.
2-3 zone right now by Oklahoma. Providence going to work the outside or the inside? Had it in the middle. Sattler didn't want to take that shot. Turner does.
Bragg knocked out of bounds. All right, that's a tie ball. They may give the possession arrow to Providence, and they do.
You know what? I think that's the first time this year I've seen that all 3 officials could not see this. Let's see who really touched the ball last. There's Webster. Oh, you know what? That's tough to call.
Yeah.
It really was tough to call.
The alternating possession gives Providence control. Bragg goes up with Salyer, but Ryan Salyer controls it. Webster, spin move and a charge. Wave off the hoop. That's 4 on Salyer. Check that, Webster. So that means Webster will have to come out of the game. Roland Ware will check in. As we mentioned earlier, that will change the complexion of the Oklahoma offense.
Well, Webster's going to have to stay out for a little while, but I don't expect Billy Tubbs to have him out there for very long. Question is, can Providence maintain this run? Sattler open in the middle.
He had a magnificent game against West Virginia. He's carried through tonight.
Providence more aggressive on defense now. The offense has really perked up the defense.
The lead is 3.
Look at them. They're really stretching it out. Oklahoma could go inside again. As wide open as this defense is of Providence. Look at Harris with that good spin move. Oh, Tough shot.
Big time.
A big-time move by Mike Harris. That quiets the crowd, and here's Price with a steal. The iron unkind to Brent Price.
Murdock's open.
Just not falling for three for Eric.
Price again.
Murdock. Oh, the man of steel. To Sattler. Out of bounds. A foul is called underneath. Roland Ware picks it up.
I want to tell you something. We made a lot of trips up and down the floor, but we haven't had much point production. Murdock looks tired. Watch Price, looks down. He's trying to push the ball up the floor. Look at Murdock from behind. You got to remember that guy's reputation. He's the NCAA's leading theft man in the history of the game.
Pass inside Sallier. Boy, that was a daring move.
Sallier with 3 fouls. Knocks it away. Here's Ware. That's another charge.
But crowd's all over him.
That is
Roland Ware
is out of the game.
Oklahoma catching up rapidly in the foul category. Providence had 9. Now all of a sudden Oklahoma has just committed their 15th foul. So Oklahoma a little bit out of control right now. And I think right now Billy Tubbs wants to talk about it.
Roland Ware fouling out with the 2 points.
Watch the move. Now watch him go down inside. It's a good call right there. Look at him. He goes right into the crowd. They're saying, you're out of here. Go to the bench. You're out. Roland just stands there and takes it. Well, that's a lot of self-discipline.
Yeah, I think they love being the villain. Billy really has his team as the extension of the coach tonight. It's us versus the world for that man tonight.
Tell you what, there was a great crowd reaction, though.
Yeah, it was.
They didn't really abuse him. He was standing there just giving it to him a little verbally. You know, he just turns around. He says, yeah, okay.
Well, he knows Webster can come back in. He only has 4. They rely on him so much more offensively, but Webster's still not in the game at the 8:45 mark. 62-57. Oklahoma by 5.
Tim, Oklahoma's got to a small lineup right now with Harris out there, Evans, and Price. Basically a 3-guard group out there, and they go to a zone.
Campbell missed it inside and picked up the foul over Sallier's back.
Oklahoma shooting 2.
Tony Turner picked that one up rather than Campbell. I beg your pardon, his second.
Tim, it really presents a lot of problems for Providence because when you're playing on offense or defense, you got to be aware that every foul you commit from this point on is going to send Oklahoma to the line for 2. And it makes you change the way you think about guarding people. I mean, if you know you're going to commit a foul or close to it.
You see the numbers. Oklahoma getting better at the stripe in the second half. Providence still having major problems. Well, there's you're accurate, though. They'll shoot 2 the rest of the way. It's a lot easier when you know you have 2 when you step up there.
The throat doesn't get as tighter, the hand doesn't shake, the knees don't wobble.
Cory Floyd will check back into the game. Tony Turner comes back out.
Let's see if Oklahoma stays with that zone defense. It looks like a basic 1-2-2, and they're going to match up a little bit out of it. Providence tries to attack with a man in the middle. Stick the guy in the middle on a 1-2-2. That's where you're vulnerable. Right there. Got to turn around and look at the basket. If you get the ball in the middle, turn and look at the basket. You can have a shot out. It's a bad pass. Don't throw it in there unless you got an open lane.
Harris got a hand on that for Oklahoma. Ian Price, along with Evans, that 3-guard offense Larry alluded to in the game. Herman Holmes.
Nice move. Little dribble to the left and up with the jumper.
66-57. They've answered the Providence run with 7 unanswered themselves. Floyd. Oh, the finger roll was beautiful.
Oh, was that a pretty play? Cory Floyd, Hutchinson Community College.
He has 6. The lead is 7 for OU.
Let's just stay with the man-to-man defense. Really have not changed very much in the second half. Oklahoma slowing it down somewhat now. They're not as anxious to get a shot up on that backboard with one of their key players out.
That player being Webster. There's Sallier. That's right where you want to get him the ball. He now has 20. 68-59. Under 7 minutes left.
Still the zone defense by Oklahoma. Providence has got to look into that middle. Sattler's got to turn around and look at the basket. If you get the ball in the middle, be a threat.
Floyd. Sallier has it knocked away by guess who? Murdock, but it's out of bounds. Control to Oklahoma. 6:42 remaining, a 9-point lead. And OU has to be wondering, when will Eric Murdock show up offensively? Stay tuned. All with entries to New Orleans, where the women's Final Four will be played. Tonight in Providence, our storyline, Oklahoma 54% from the floor, 8 percentage points better than the norm. Webster with 17 points, but saddled with 4 fouls. Providence 25 offensive rebounds, but only for 15 points. And Eric Murdock, including tonight's game up to this point, 6 for 40 from three-point range over the last 9 games. And they really haven't looked to him at all on the offensive end in the last few transitions we've seen.
Oklahoma in their half-court offense now. There's another easy shot outside and a good rebound by Bragg inside. Providence doing a much better job defensively in the last couple of minutes. Nice pass by Murdock.
Boy, if you can't score, you can always dish.
Boy, that was a great pass. Went right into the teeth of that zone, got him to commit to him, and he dropped a nice bounce pass to Bragg. Game's very simple. Draw the defense, get it to the open man.
68-61.
Need to be deliberate right at this point because they got Webster on the bench.
And their offense has run rather nicely with him on the bench. Nice work by Watts knocking it out of bounds. Oklahoma will trigger it in. 21 seconds on the shot clock.
You know, Tim, with every passing second, though, that gives Tubbs a little bit more time to play with. And Webster, there he is. Getting back in the game. If they can continue this lead, Sallier with a nice bank. Oh, pretty shot.
20.
He's got a nice time.
Oh, he does. 22 for Brian Sallier.
Risen to a new level, huh? 25 against Cincinnati the other night. Having another good night tonight.
Chris Watts. Both he and Murdock will have to start loading up the trays before this one's over. There's a turnover.
The change of defense really bothered Oklahoma. Providence went to a full-court trapping defense, and they threw the ball out of bounds. I think Harris had a chance to catch that basketball. It was right in front of us, but he thought Price was going to catch it.
Rick Barnes' club trying to dig deep. Eric Murdock not playing up to his usual capacity. He's been bothered with a lower back problem. We told you at the outset of the game he appeared stiff in the warm-up, but he's doing it with steals and with assists, and there is another rare turnover.
Tim, it's the one thing I asked the centers to do for Providence. Turn and look at the basket. Simpkins did, but when he looked inside, he had nothing there, so he looks to the right side. Watts is open. He can't get in the ball. Throws it out of bounds. Back-to-back turnovers.
Sallier. Fans wanted a foul. They didn't get it.
I think Sallier was waiting to hear the whistle. He thought maybe I'm going to get one. I'm going to wait till I hear that whistle. No whistle, I go up. Turn and look.
Watts off the back iron. Murdock forces it up. Bragg. Marquis Bragg. Well, he just brings the lunch pail to every game. He gets so many putback points. He has 14 tonight. Harris.
Got a little bit of a sweet roll that time.
And shooter's touch for Mike on the road. 74-66. Just over 4 to play. Providence living with the threes.
Price had a chance to get that ball to Evans on the left side. They didn't spread that break far enough. They were running too much in one lane. You get a break, spread out, make it tough on the defense. Holmes trying to operate one-on-one. Oklahoma does a lot of one-on-one play.
rarely see Billy Tubbs ask his team to back it back out, but that's what they're doing. They're showing they can play that half-court game.
Well, he's got good handlers in there right now. Harris can handle it. Evans is good. Price is good.
Shot clock is down to 8.
This is a stall for Oklahoma. This might be a record.
Evans. Salyer. Keeping it alive. Run down by Cory Floyd for the Friars. This is a big trip. Over 3 minutes to play, and the lead is 8.
Yeah, they need one right here. Simpkins open in the middle.
Simpkins follows. Out of bounds. Last touch by Salyer. 2:56 remaining. The Friars need to warm up. That's been their problem all evening long here in cold New England.
Sooners may be on their way to a win on the road here tonight. Mainly on the shoulders of Brian Salyer. Watch him make the move across the lane. A good screen, catches the ball. Now watch him make this position right here and a good little turn and kiss off the glass. Brian Salyer having a great game.
We reset this one for you here from Providence. Oklahoma, with all of their timeouts remaining, they hope never to have to be in position to use them. Providence with but one. The fouls to give. Providence long since over the limit there, and the possession arrow to the Sooners. So it's looking good for the folks from Norman here in the last 2:55.
Tim, I think it's important to point out right now that Oklahoma has one foul to give before they get into the bonus, so they can give one more if need be.
Bragg. They just cannot find the ocean from the floor. I mean, they were 29% at halftime, and it hasn't gotten much better in the second half.
Cape Cod's not that far away. I mean, the ocean's close.
Brent Forbes is the trigger man. Yet they're only a couple of hoops away. I mean, we could still have a wire game.
Well, these are two clubs that really have lived and died by the three-point shot this year. One averaging 19 per game from the outside. That's Providence, and Oklahoma 18.
Forbes tried to force that one inside to Bragg. You really get the feeling that with Murdock not playing well, the go-to guy is not a part of the Providence picture offensively late in this one.
Well, you make the adjustment. If your star is not getting it done, somebody else has to. Oklahoma's going to sit on the ball right now.
Watts picks up the foul. Chris Watts. Cory Floyd will come into the game for Forbes. Rick Barnes. His team 17-12 during the regular year. Many thought he perhaps could have gone to the NCAA rather than Villanova, but Villanova's quality wins non-conference got them the bid to the NCAA tournament. His team had to refocus for this NIT and had the luxury of playing them all here at home.
Tell you what, they had a pretty good Big East year. They beat everybody in the Big East except Pitt. In fact, beat St. John's twice.
Yeah, I think they really felt that the road win at St. John's was going to get them over the hump, and it didn't happen. And the team was a bit disappointed late in the year.
Oklahoma back in that zone defense. More of a matchup right now. Sometimes you can screen a zone defense if you do it properly.
Floyd just won't drop for Providence. The problems continue. A 10-point cushion and a foul against Marquis Bragg.
Well, time's running out now on the Friars with that 10-point lead. They got a minute 44 to start to catch up.
Who'd have thought that it would be Oklahoma's half-court game and their patience once Webster picked up that fourth foul that would be the difference, but that is in essence what we've seen in the last 5 minutes.
But Tim, this is a club that really, while we talk about their three-point shooting, they have a very strong inside game. Think of what they've been able to do without Webster. He's been on that bench since, what, the 10:30 mark? Sitting over there, and they've been able to convert a lot of points. Salyer's had a good ball game.
Let's face it, this was a team that was ranked 11th in the country prior to a loss to Southwest Louisiana at home. They were playing extremely well. Then the injuries occurred, and the loss of Jackie Jones. You mentioned Smokey McCovery. There's a player that's gone. He'll be back next year. This team will be loaded for bear in 91. Sattler.
Oh, a three from Sattler.
76-69. Salyer.
Tough shot. Look at him. He looks at us and smiles and says, well, say something nice about us.
We have, Brian. We have.
Oh, there's 3 shots.
A foul against Brent Price, and that's a 3-shot violation. May have been Harris rather than Brent Price that picked it up.
Well, that's a bad foul. I mean, there are no good fouls. On occasion, there are. You stop a guy from an easy 2, but well, when you commit a foul beyond that 3-point line and give a guy a chance to make 3 free throws.
With no time running off the clock and 1:20 remaining.
And a pretty good free throw shooter going to the line.
Murdock, 81% on the year.
He's a courageous young man. Tim, I know we talked about him last week. He's gone through a lot of adversity to
really
the level he is right now.
Well, we talked about his drought, but one of the great things about these guys is they don't stop trying on either end. He's not been himself. We asked him about his back prior to the start of the game, and he reached back in anguish and said, "I'll be okay," and you knew he was hurting. But even in a poor performance against James Madison, without his defensive plays and his free throws down the stretch, they don't even get Lefty Drizel's team into overtime a week ago.
They're still alive. They're only down 6 right now.
Quickly, Murdock picks up the foul against Terry Evans.
The question is, can Oklahoma convert free throws? If they can, they're going to walk away with a win and hit for New York on Monday.
Rick Barnes knew this would be the best team that he'd play before getting to New York. And the Sooners are as advertised, with their walking wounded back on the floor. This being one of them, Terry Evans.
Pretty loose group over there right now.
They're loosening the shoot around today. Look at Webster. He's coaching now.
80-72. Floyd for 3. Kermit Holmes clears to Evans. Floyd with a steal. Underneath. Numbers. They want 3s. Murdock. Eric just can't find it from 3-point range. He turned it over.
That's a good call.
Evans with a double dribble.
He turned and looked, and I think maybe he had that defender in front of him. It kind of shocked him to see him standing there.
53 seconds left. Well, they turned down an easy 2 to try for 3 that could have brought them to within 6.
Evans with a good slap, boy.
Come on, Murdock, you can't stick it out there like that, baby.
And you see these teams now, Larry, launching because of the 3-point shot. Late in games, many times they go for them far too quickly, particularly given the numbers in this game.
About 3 of 19 for tonight between Watts and Murdock. Sattler lost it, got it back.
Watts for 3. An air ball out of bounds to Oklahoma. Empty trips. That's been the story for the Friars. Well, this will be a sweet victory for Billy Tubbs.
He's got a chance to actually win and have another 20-win season.
Get ready, New York. Billy's coming with all the quotes for those of you on the East Coast.
Well, looks like Oklahoma's going to walk away with one here. Maybe run away with one more than that.
They will be very tough to beat in New York. Sallier, you consider what he did tonight. Webster on the bench. I mean, they never needed to bring him back with 4 fouls.
Brent Price going to the line. Hey, by the way, I want to bring this up.
There's Webster.
Hey, there's Webster. He hasn't played. He says, I'm having a good time when my team's ahead.
81-72. Floyd checking out of the game.
I'd say Oklahoma's in pretty good shape at this point.
Well, Sattler may be the best 3-point shooter on the floor right now for Providence. That would have been a stretch of a comment earlier this year. Holmes sets a tie ball with the arrow to Oklahoma. Eric Murdock
in his final game with the Providence Friars. What a career.
Came up just short of being the all-time career leading scorer. Jimmy Walker holds that honor.
One more quick steal opportunity for him.
I think Watt's got that foul.
9 seconds left. How do you like to see that? Harris certainly appreciates the abilities of Eric Murdock.
Crowd beginning to filter out. Eric Murdock, one of the best players this Big East has had since its existence. Handsome young man.
Brought a lot of excitement to this league. His 48 and 45-point efforts earlier this year in losing causes. Some of the best that I've seen. 48 points in that game against Pittsburgh, and then at Arizona he had 45.
I want to tell you what, Terry Evans just banked his free throw in.
There you see the response for Eric Murdock. One final time in Providence. .2021 career points. But Billy Tubbs gets the last laugh here in the home of the Big East. A Big 8 entry into the round of 4 at the Garden in New York. For Larry Connolly, Tim Brando, so long. Chris Fowler is coming up next back in our studios.